fuck them kids. Literally, fuck them kids, yo. In many cases, it's not your fault as a parent, but in some cases, it is your fault as a parent. The reason why it's not your fault as a parent is because you up against so many things that your grandparents and your mother never had to deal with in this new generation of social media, everything online. People are begging for acceptance, social distancing. People don't conversate. It's not even the same world that we grew up in. It's a lot of different things that the new generation or this current generation has to face and deal with that we never had to deal with. I'm talking about not just being shamed in your community, but being shamed worldwide, because all it takes is one stupid ass decision that they make that can make them go viral. And even right now, motherfuckers like to go viral from doing dumb shit because they'll do anything for the clout. Clout is a dangerous drug and an addictive drug as well. So first off, I'm going to talk about the parents. I got to get on us for a minute, all right? I got to get on us. In many cases, we give our kids too much freedom. Your kid at 11, 12, 13, 14 should not even have any type of social media platform or footprint. Damn, that is a lot, Vince. It is a lot. You need to be on your fucking daughters, on your fucking son. There's no reason for them to have a social media platform. They shouldn't have no Instagram. They shouldn't have no motherfucking TikTok. They shouldn't have no Facebook. They shouldn't have no type of digital footprint online before 15. Why am I saying this? Because when you open up social media, you open up the gates of hell. And you open up demons into your home when you open up social media. You see everything on social media. You see fights, you see debauchery, you see crime, you see all type of sexual shit that goes on online. And you exposing your children to this behavior and to this world at an early age. Because they spend a lot of time with it. They spend a lot of time scrolling. They spend a lot of time looking at videos. They spend a lot of time on different people's platforms. And where you spend your time is the most is what you obviously become. You become part of that world. You become part of that clout chasing society that you in. And at a young age, you don't have the knowledge to kind of understand what the fuck you really doing. At 11, 12, 13, 14. You're still a child. You're still a baby, dude. I'm saying till 15 because at 15, you're in high school. You're going to need a phone to get around. You're dealing with real shit in high school. Because I know at 14, 15, 14 and up, as a man, growing up in the 90s, because we went outside. It wasn't like how these kids are isolated now. You was walking into basically the real world. You was dealing with real world shit. It was grown men in the 90s having sex with 14, 15, 16-year-old females. That's some real shit. So when people talk about this R. Kelly situation or whatever, that was normal back in the hood. That was normal. You know, now it's frowned upon. Like, oh my God, he's crazy. It's not really frowned upon in the hood. We know what it is, and we know what the fuck went on if you grew up in the 90s. You can act like this is brand new to you all you want to. But on another note, watching your children and making sure your children don't have access to social media is very important at that age. We trying to keep their innocence as long as we possibly can. You want to throw a tablet in his hand, you want to throw a phone in his hand, you're going to have a problem later on down the line because they're absorbing and they're capturing all of those images. They're crafting their own identity. Remind you, think around that time that they're trying to build their identity. They're trying to build who they want to show up as in the world. And you got social media telling them, this is who you need to be. You need to be this person that dresses up like this. You need to have these eyelashes. You need to have this hair. You need to do this in order to be accepted. You need to be hypersexualized to be accepted. They don't know. But then you got your father and you got your mother around and they ain't around. They at work. Y'all at work. Y'all trying to get this money. Y'all trying to make a better life for him or her. Y'all doing everything y'all can as parents to try to make their life comfortable. Trying to be the cool parent. You can't be the fucking cool parent. You got to be an asshole. I stand by this. I believe in ass whoopings. I believe in knocking the shit out your kid. I do. Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. Leave this channel all you want to. I'm cool with that. I believe in whipping your kid's ass if you have to. I believe if you got a son, he want to knuckle up, take him in the backyard and knuckle up on him. Give him some of that hand. Give him some of that hand work. Make that jaw pop. Pop. Let him know. Because if you don't kick their ass, the world's going to kick their ass. If you don't kick their ass, they're going to get their ass kicked in prison. Because you wasn't there to lead them the right way. If you want to, especially with your daughters, like it's crazy with your daughters, dog. It's crazy having girls and shit. Because girls are growing up faster than anything these days. All it takes is for a little knucklehead to go and get your daughter pregnant and you in a whole nother situation. And y'all act like AIDS ain't went nowhere. Like, it's crazy out here. So, again, anything under 14, they should not have a social media. Here's some things that you need to worry about when you have a child. I'm going to talk about the girls because I have a daughter. Number one, don't give your daughter no fucking freedom, dude. Don't give your daughter the leeway at all. They don't deserve that shit at all. Why do you got to give them leeway? For what? I don't care how cool they are, how nice they are, how baby voice they talk to you. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit, dog. Don't give them no room at all. No, so no. You give them what they need. You can take them out from time to time and be a good parent and shit like that, you know? Because we ain't talking about being tyrannical, but at the same time, you got to be somewhat feared in a way, dude. Because if they don't fear you in any kind of capacity, they're going to go out in the world and they're going to do what they want to do. Because there's no consequences that come behind that. Mom and dad don't care. They ain't going to do nothing but give me a couple of words. That's how they going to move. And they're going to think that life is like that until some shit really comes along that can really fuck them up. And whose fault is that? It's your fault because you didn't have that kind of household. You didn't create that type of environment for her. So that she know that this is what she's up against and what could possibly happen. A lot of kids make mistakes because they're not taught or shown that there's any consequences to those mistakes. And they continue to do the same shit over and over again. If mommy is coming to bail her out, if daddy is coming to bail her out, and he's done it multiple times, she gonna continue to do the same shit. He gonna continue to do the same shit. And all it's doing is draining you out, stressing you out, doubting yourself as being a good parent. I've done everything I possibly can. You done too much. You did too much. You did way too much. You overexerted yourself. And you basically ran your kid away because you did too much for him. Sometimes you got to let go. So, again, when you got a kid under 14, they shouldn't have no social media. Again, some of the things you do need to watch out for, again, number one, hair. Hair is the number one thing. Your daughter should not be running around this bitch with no colored hair, dude. At no 14 years old. At no 13, 14, 15, even fucking 16 years old. They should not be running around this bitch with no colored hair at all. No fucking wigs. No fucking lace fronts. None of that shit. Why? Because everything that I'm saying right now is part of a overall uniform that I'm putting together for y'all. I'm talking about the females here first. This is a uniform. Because debauchery has a uniform. No colored hair, no lace fronts, no wigs, none of that shit. That's number one. Number two, motherfucking baby hair. It's part of the word uniform. She can't have no motherfucking baby hair. None of that crusty shit. None of that shit that y'all think is cute. None of that shit. None of that shit. No eyelashes, no baby hair. She can't have none of that shit at all. Number three, this might be somewhat controversial, but I don't give a fuck when it comes to my daughters and when it comes to my girls. I don't want her to be showing her belly button in no capacity whatsoever. No tight clothes, no belly button. We ain't out here selling shit. None of her panties showing, no thong, none of that shit at all. None of that shit at all. We ain't doing that kind of shit. The reason why I'm saying this, why are you saying this, Vince? Because hoes have a uniform, dude. Hoes have a uniform. And I ain't saying that these girls is hoes, but I know hoes and I've been around hoes. And when I see hoes, hoes have a certain uniform and they dress a certain kind of way. They move a certain kind of way. They do a certain kind of way because they hoes. And it's like, you don't want your daughter to be trying to assimilate, to be part of a group when she ain't part of that fucking group. And if she part of that fucking group, she's wearing a uniform because that's what she is. If she's part of that fucking group. So if she's moving like that, you know what I'm saying? Your job as a father, your job as a mother, you shouldn't have her on none of that shit. Listen, bitch, take that shit off. Take your ass back in here and take that shit off. She can be mad at you all she wants to. Let her be mad. Like, what you gonna do? Move out? What you gonna do? And if she move out, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you might be sad that she move out, but she gotta pay for that shit. She gotta pay for that shit. She gotta pay for the rent. She gotta pay for the car. She got to pay for the insurance. She got to pay for the phone bill. She got to pay for the lights. She got to pay for the gas. She got to pay for the food. She got to pay for her hair. She got to pay for her water. She got to pay for every fucking thing just to live. Every fucking thing to live. Just because she didn't want to listen to what she was saying. Everything she would have to pay for on her own. She got to pay for, if she want to go somewhere to eat, hang out, she got to pay for that. They don't realize life is real until they go out and experience life and understand that this shit is actually real. This shit, I wish I could go back to being a kid. I wanted to be an adult when I was younger until I became an adult and could never go back. I don't want these bills. I don't want, like, if anybody that's an adult right now that's looking at this, how would you rate your experience at being an adult, at adulting? Where you got everything that you have around you have to pay for. I walk out the door, I spend $100. Just walking out the door. I go to a gas station thinking I'm just going to get a pack of gum. Damn, I realized I got to get some gas. I got a fucking BMW truck. I got to spend $100 on some gas, dude. Because I can't use the cheap shit. Just living is expensive. So you want that kind of life? You want that responsibility. You want that responsibility. We just talking about the females. I ain't even talking about the males. Because the males is a whole nother ball game. Dealing with young men. Especially y'all women out here. Y'all dealing with these young men. Y'all can say the fathers ain't around. A lot of times the fathers be around. Y'all just be too selfish and shit in order to give custody over to the father because you and your feelings and shit. Like, you need to give that boy over to his father. Because this is a circumstance and a time right now that's very critical for a young man when he's going through puberty and walking into adulthood. This is things that you don't understand. You're going to run across things that you would never be able to understand as a young man. And this is the reason why these young men are outside. They're away from their mothers. But their mothers continue to chase behind them and shit. His father's around, his men around. You might not like that the father is living a better life without your nasty ass. And that's the reason why you want to keep his son away from him. You might be mad that the father, he might not have been the guy that you wanted, but you made a baby by him. So since you made a baby by him, why don't you take that young man and put him in his father's custody? His father might be a better man. His father ain't going to give him all the shit that you give him. His father ain't going to baby him the way that you baby him. Because he ain't a fucking baby no more. When a young man is 12 years old, he's a young man at 12 years old. Because at 12 years old, he can get a bitch pregnant. You're going to have to talk to him in a different language as a man. Like, all that naivety that you have about your son is gone at 12. You need to have that in your heart to know that it's gone. At 12 years old, you need to look at him like he's 17. Especially if he's a melanated young man. Because he's going to be up against things that you can't even imagine. So, if you're a woman and you got a young man that you're raising, if he has a father that's in his life and he's not locked up and he's around, you need to turn that custody over to him. I know it's going to suck that you're going to lose that child support money. I know it's going to suck. But what's more important? That child support money or your son's future? That child support money or your son being in fucking prison? That child support money or your son living a nice, abundant life because he was guided the right way with male leadership and discipline and structure. And I'm not saying you can't do that as a woman, but at the same time, you're a woman. He's going to grow up and he's going to have muscles. He's going to be a young man. That testosterone hits differently. He's going to talk to you a different kind of way. If you have another man in your life, that other man in your life, he can't guide that young man the way that his original father can. Especially if he met you and you like, and the son like 10, 11 or some shit like that. Like, it's going to be extremely hard in order for him to do that. Because all it takes is for that guy to put his hands on your son, and you're going to be like, don't put your hands on my child. It's going to be a problem. It's hard for brothers to come in as a stepfather and provide that leadership to another man's child. So if he has a father, don't be in your pride, females. Pass him on to his father. I don't care if he doesn't have the money that you think he should have. If that's the case, then you pay that man child support because he's actually holding the responsibility down and raising your son. Because it takes two to tango. And a lot of women ain't going to do that. They would rather watch their sons go down the drain because of their pride and their ego. And because of money. Let's keep that shit 100. And in most cases, some of these kids, because of social media, when you let social media in the house, when you open up that Pandora's box, man or woman, this is when you start to craft your identity. This is when you craft that identity of being Chief Keefs. This is when you craft that identity of being Lil Durk. This is when you craft that identity of being Cardi B. This is when you craft that identity of being Megan Thee Stallion. This is when you craft that identity of being one of these fucking influencers and shit. This is when you craft that identity. When you see somebody out here doing some reckless, foul shit. Reckless, foul shit for the clout. That song that Migos made, They Do Anything for Clout, is the realest shit, because people will do anything for the sun. They'll do anything for the clout. They'll do anything for the light to be on them. And then they continue to do bullshit to stay in that light. Especially when you're young and you don't understand that this shit on the internet never expires, dude. It never expires. It's always going to come back and hunt you. How many porn stars have had opportunities close on them? The world look at them a certain kind of way because of what they did online. Like, and I'm not saying that they bad. You know, they might have did shit when they was younger, but it always comes back up. It never goes anywhere because the internet is forever. The internet is always going to be there. The information is always going to pop back up. Somebody's going to find something about you, especially if it's at that level. So you got to be mindful of how you move out here. You got to be mindful of your reputation, especially if you're a female. You do anything online. Anything online. That shit will come back and hunt you as a female. Even fellas. Y'all got to stay away from these cameras, young men. Stay away from the cameras. Stay off the cameras, young men. Don't post the shit on the gram, young man. Because once you post that shit on the gram, guess who's looking at the gram? And you want to be Lil Durk and Chief Keef and motherfucking King Von. Police. That's the first thing that they looking at right now. Let's go to his Instagram profile. Let's look at his friend's Instagram profile. Let's see everybody that they're associated with. They just go right down your friends list. They got the time and they got the resources to do it. And somebody gonna talk some shit about whatever the dirt y'all decided to do. Somebody gonna run their mouth. Because, you know, niggas, they can't keep their mouth shut for shit. Now, we're about to investigate everybody. We about to take everybody's phones because we got a search warrant for your phone. And you got it in your phone. You might not have posted it, but we got it in your phone. So now we got search warrants on everybody. We got search warrants on everybody's phone. And now we're building a case. And don't throw no gang signs, retarded shit. Don't throw no gang signs. Oh, no. Don't do that, young fella, because you want to be King Von. Now you hit with this ugly ass nigga called Rico. Minimum 10 years. Rico. Just because you said you was gang, and since all of y'all wearing a certain color, we gonna put y'all in the gang situation. You don't want that life, brother. You don't want that life, brother. Because it's a lot that can change in 10 years. Remind you, just 3 years ago, AI was introduced to us in the form of OpenAI. We still had other parts of AI that was always around, but we're starting to see it affect the job market. Like, imagine what 10 years is going to look like from now. It's not going to look like the same world that you know right now. And as gangster as you are, as hard as you are, young man, when you in prison, there's nobody around to protect your family. You can say how much you stand on or whatever. There's nobody around to protect your family. What they gonna do? You ain't there. Anybody can violate your mother. They can violate your sister. They can violate your family. But you in jail because you crashed out. Or you just want to be that archetype. I talk about archetypes all the time. You can be whoever you want to be if you just be that person. Good or bad. You got a lot of brothers out here that want to be these young Dirks. They want to be the NBA young boys. They want to be these rappers. They want to dress like them. They want to talk like them. They want to move like them. So they mimic these archetypes. And when they mimic these low frequency archetypes, they also attract the bullshit that come along with it. Same with the females. You want to be Megan Thee Stallion. You want to be Cardi B. Dress like Cardi B. Talk like Cardi B. Move like Megan Thee Stallion. Have that same attitude. And watch you attract the same type of niggas that they attract. Watch you attract the same type of drama that they attract. You are the drama? Yes, you are the drama. You are the drama. And the thing is, they're getting paid for it, but they also getting slaved for it, because the thing is, they're not living these ideal lives that you think they are. It look exciting. They can go to clubs and buy cars and all kind of shit, but ain't no nigga gonna take them serious. Ain't nobody gonna take them serious. Ain't nobody gonna want to go into this situation with this person right here who's been passed around and used by half the town. Ain't nobody gonna lock in with the town whore. Don't nobody want to be with that. And as much as women can say, oh, your past don't matter, your past do matter to a real nigga. To a real one, your past matter. Just like his future matter to you. So your past matter to him and your present. He don't want to be with a woman sitting with her and shit, and she done fucked half the fucking restaurant when he's trying to get something to eat. Niggas whispering and talking and shit about the woman that he with. They bringing up, your friends or old friends bringing up, videos and shit that they seen of your woman and shit. Getting her cheeks clapped. Like, come on, dude. Like, this is the avatar that social media is creating for our young women. That's why I'm saying don't fuck around with social media and shit at a young age, because they still trying to craft their identity. Give them some time to be an adult so that they can be indoctrinated with some real game from their fathers and from their mothers. But at the same time, you can't treat them like babies walking into this world either. Because when you treat them like babies and shit, you leave them in a situation where they're vulnerable. You got to talk to them like sometimes adults. Sometimes you got to be an asshole to them. For real. You got to be an asshole to them. So as a parent and shit, I feel bad for the parents these days, because it ain't the same thing that grandma and nana or anybody had to deal with. Like, we got a big ass problem with social media. We got a big problem that our kids got to deal with. Trends and shit. Like, it was different for us in the 90s because we went outside. It was only a few people that we actually knew. Now our kids is exposed to the whole world, dude. Everything that's going on in the world. And it's like they're glorifying the bullshit. They're glorifying the bullshit. And in glorifying the bullshit, wanted to be this avatar, depending on what this avatar is about, this avatar can cause a shitload of harm, death, imprisonment, pregnation. That's not even a word. Pregnated. I said pregnation. Pregnated by that same YN archetype. Creating another generation of YNs. Another generation of YNs. Because that motherfucker ain't got no skills. They don't. The motherfucker ain't got no skills. Can't teach nothing. Can barely talk. Like, It's not a good look, and it's not a good situation that we in. So parents, fuck them kids, number one. I'm saying fuck them kids, dog, if they ain't trying to hear what you trying to teach. You know, like real talk. Some of your kids, they might need therapy. Real shit. Some of your kids might need therapy. But keep them far away from social media. They shouldn't have no type of social media footprint, dog, under 15. Flat out, dog. None of that shit. And while they're in your house, they should not be wearing the uniform of a hoe as a female. None. And while they're in your house, they should not be wearing the uniform of a YN if you got a young man. And while they're in your house, if you got a female, if you got a male, and you a female, you got a son, he should be with his father. He should be with his father. You should take that boy to his father. At fucking 13, he need to be living with his father. Get out of your ego. Get you an extra job. Pay that man child support if you have to. But you need to have that boy with his father. Like, take notes from the movie Boys in the Hood. Take your ass back to school. Do what you got to do. Take notes from the movie Boys in the Hood. When she went and took her son that she loved tremendously to his father, Furious Styles. And he lived in the hood. He had to do the hard work. He was grunting and grinding. He was able to get some responsibility. He started working. He had niggas in the hood and shit that he was cool with, that he grew up with, that didn't have a father. And it was a difference in how they grew up because it was a mother that didn't have a father or a man that was around. He had to make hard decisions and hard choices and shit, and which you will have to do as a young man. But without that leadership and that sternness, you are more susceptible to make fucked up decisions. You got to go up against police. You got to go up against what your friends is going to think about you. Like all of these different things that attack a young man. And this is why it's so important for that young man to be with his father. I would even say, to an extent, that woman, that young female, that daughter that you got, need to be with her dad. Your job as a woman, from birth to 12 years old, is to nurture that child. From 12 years old until that child needs to be with his father, because his father is going to prepare him or her for the world. This is not the time to be lenient and relaxed. This is the time to turn up the fucking heat. This is the time to turn up the heat, because they're going to have a lot of challenges, and they're going to have a lot of demons, and they're going to have a lot of shit that's coming at them. They need their fathers. They need the men in their life. So get out of your fucking ego, ladies. Get out of thinking that he's going to do a better job than me. If he's going to do a better job than you, let him do a better job than you. That's your son. But you want to go off of your ego and shit, and you're afraid that it's going to look better than what you have, than the idea that you have for your son. You think it's going to look better. You think he's going to raise my daughter better. That's still both of y'all child. It should be better. It should be good. And vice versa. You think it's going to be, he going to take all the credit for putting your daughter in a position where she got a fucking master's degree, or your son got a master's degree. You think his life is going to be better? It's going to make you look like you an inadequate parent? No. No, that's not the case at all. Like, we need to be working together instead of working apart. Sometimes we want to just sit here and this is what a lot of women want to do to the men right here. We ain't doing this. A lot of us is doing this and doing this. Fuck you, sir. Because I'm going to raise my son the way I want to raise my son. I'm going to teach him the way I want to teach my son. I'm going to get that child support money from your ass because that's my son. And in the meantime, your fucking son is going down the drain. In the meantime, your daughter is going down the fucking drain. Instead of you just saying, all right, this is what we're going to do. He's 13. I'm going to pass over custody to you. I don't want no child support. I'll throw you some child support. They ain't going to do that. Oh, that's too much. You ain't even got to do child support. Just give me custody. I don't want to do that either. That's my child. That's my child. This ain't the time for that, dog. Like, you got to really think about the whole anatomy of a man. Because a man, he stands on logic. He stands on logic. It's not emotional, it's logic. I got a daughter. She's cute as hell. I know my daughter got ass and titties. I know what niggas gonna try to want. I can't sit here and talk to her nice. Listen, they gonna try to fuck you. That's what they gonna want to do. I need you to cover yourself up so you can expose yourself looking like no hoe. The pants that you got on, the shorts you got, I see your ass cheeks. I shouldn't be able to see your ass cheeks like that. Why the fuck am I looking at your panties? You got your little thong. You got a thong on? What the fuck? Why you got your halter top showing? Why am I looking at your titties? You trying to sell something? Like, this is what niggas do. Because niggas know what's out here. Why you exposed like that? Why your hair looking like that? She might not like what you saying as a man, but she gonna respect you as a man, and she gonna respect herself. And from there, she gonna learn those principles, and she gonna be moving a certain kind of way when she become an adult, because she ain't gonna want to embarrass her family, and she know her father has a certain type of criteria that she has to hold herself to. Same with the son. A lot of times with the sons, hey, I'm in the gym. I don't have a son. I have a stepson, but I'm in the gym in case I gotta whoop some ass, yo. I'm in the gym because if I gotta throw them knuckles and throw them things on them, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm an advocate for parents kicking their kids' ass. I ain't talking about abuse, but I'm talking about discipline. And my discipline is, motherfucker, if you want to come in here and violate some shit in my household, violate my wife, violate me, violate yourself, violate this family, it's gonna be some complications for you. It's gonna be some consequences and repercussions, dude. And probably some concussions. And if I gotta go to jail for it, so be it. I got bail money already. But you ain't gonna disrespect yourself, you ain't gonna disrespect this household, and you ain't gonna disrespect your mama. Flat out. That's why it's so important for women to be with the man that they make babies with. Because you can't move like that in a situation where you're dealing with a woman who got a baby by another child, by another man. Because now you're trying to put these type of ideologies on that kid's father. I mean, on that kid. And that father of that kid might not have the same type of thinking. He might be a motherfucking Muslim and you a Christian, or vice versa. So he's still running your household and he ain't even there. So all I'm saying is, man, like, we in a different time out here, man. I'm still saying fuck these kids all day long. Because a lot of times y'all parents and shit, y'all not bad parents at all. Some of these kids are really fucked up. Some of them are really fucked up. And I want you to understand it ain't your fault. Some of y'all play it too smooth. Y'all play it too easy. And y'all need to put the binoculars on and look at your kids for what the fuck they is. They ain't always peachy and cream. They ain't always nice and shit. Like, they be doing shit out here. You was doing shit at that age. So why you fucking playing games? You know friends around that age that was doing shit. You know what time it is at that age. So why you sitting here playing like it ain't what it is? And you got social media that's accelerating the age. Stop playing, dude. So this your boy Vince G, man. I just wanted to talk from the heart. You know, if you're looking for that coaching and that consultant, you know, you want somebody that's going to give you some real down to earth experience, packed knowledge. I don't got the MD on the back of my name and I ain't got the doctor on the front, but I got my ass kicked from the front to the back in life. Still here, you know, done raised kids, step kids, all kind of shit, man. And for the most part, I can't say I do very well for myself, you know, and I feel like experience beat somebody that's looking through a book telling you what the fuck you should do. I can tell you what's going to happen and what has happened and some of the signs that you need to watch out for when it comes to your kids, because I got people in my family that don't listen to a nigga. You already know motherfuckers don't listen to you and shit until shit happens. And they're like, you know what? That nigga was right. And they say that a lot about me. That nigga was right. He was telling the truth about this situation. He was telling me the truth about my daughter. He was telling me the truth about my son ahead of time. I'm like, you know what? This nigga, he act like he need too much attention. You need to watch that motherfucker right there. And I talk just like that. I talk just like that. Next thing you know, this nigga doing some shit online. Anything for the clout, like I said. Talking about fuck 12 and all this other kind of stuff. He in jail on some dumb shit. And I told you that he was a clout chaser ahead of time. But you know, they don't listen to it, bro. They don't listen to you until some shit hit the fan. They don't listen to you. They don't hear you until some shit hit the fan. They be like, damn, I should have hollered at him. I should have talked to him. I should have reached out to him. Because he might have been able to lead me the right way. I should have talked to him. I should have did that. But you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but you didn't. So now you got to deal with the consequences. And it happens to us all, man. You know, like, hey, you know, I don't got a suit on and shit. I ain't here talking to you, you know. I ain't here talking to you with no curse words. You know, I'm a little bit too relaxed. I got the sweatshirt on. You know, I don't look like your typical coach. You know, I don't look like that guy. You know, I'm just a person who actually been through some shit. I'm just a person who actually been through marriage and still going through marriage, still in marriage. I'm just a guy who been through raising kids. I mean, like, come on, man. I'm just a guy who actually went through it. You know, I can't teach you what the book is going to say because the book don't know fucking shit. Because the shit, life moves like this. It's all over the place. All over the place. I might not have all the best answers for you either. But at the same time, I can give you some real data from a nigga who actually been through the shit. So you can take some book smart shit. Somebody who gonna talk to you nice. Yes. Yeah. Namaste. You can talk to somebody like that. Or you can talk to somebody that's gonna listen to you and say, listen, man, you might have a bigger problem. I think you need to get rid of all of her social media platforms. All of that. And I think the whole family need to have a sit down with her and have a real conversation with her. The whole family. Put them all on notice. You know, it takes a village, yeah. Don't give her any type of refuge to think that she can go over her uncle's house or her auntie's house or her grandma's house because of the disagreement that you guys have had. You guys need to all be united in this. We love her and we want to make sure that she is well taken care of. But let her know that she is loved and that she do have those platforms to talk to each and every individual that's available, that's sitting down in this intervention. But at the same time, y'all got to be united in that as a family. No separation. And it should be communication amongst all of y'all. Because all of y'all are raising the next generation, whether you like it or not. But anyway, this your boy Vince G. This is shit I'm talking about. And I just want us to be ready and talk to somebody with some experience who actually went through it. That's me. Deuces.